LV55 Media LLC presents the Heroes of Montford Point interview series featuring Montford Point Marine, Stanley Porter, Part 1, hosted by Patricia Williams.
So, Mr. Porter, first I'd like to just say thank you so much for serving our country. And it's also indeed a pleasure to be here interviewing you today.
Can I thank you for thanking me?
Yes, you can. Thank you. So tell me a little bit about what circumstances led you to, did you join or were you drafted into the Marines?
Well, I guess I was at a state where I knew that I was going to have to go.
Yes.
But I was also at a state where I could make a choice. But in the meantime, you know, we heard all this marvelous work on the part of Philip Randolph, Mother Bethune, and I could go on and name people who have worked to kind of groom us as a whole to be good people. But knowing that they had their work, and then I saw those uniforms, so I was attracted right away. Although I had actually signed up for another service, maybe two more.
Oh.
Because, well, there was a couple that was attracted. What were they? They were horsemen. I've forgotten what it's called right now, but anyway, they wore the slick-looking boots, and that, you know, the uniform was always attractive.
Okay.
And then we went for a couple of others. But then when the Marine Corps come up, like I say, all the work that had been put into it, and then the slick-looking uniform, and that led me to it.
Okay.
Although after I got in, I wondered, boy, what did you do?
Yes. Wow.
Funny thing, when I got on the train that night, after I had been sworn in, and I was dreaming very childish, like thinking of what all of the glory I would have with people looking at me with the uniform. And I woke up in Pittsburgh, you know, from Chicago to Pittsburgh. I woke up, and I think right there I hit my reality. I said, God, I'll only come home maybe once or twice, but how long will I be in the service without it? Wow. Without coming home to show it off. Oh, boy. Wow. And then, of course, when I got to Washington, D.C., that was a whole nother day. Yeah, we hit it there. There was three of us, one white and two black, and we all had sleeping conditions. So the porter, or the person who was in charge, let's put it like that, I don't remember their titles, but he said, you'll go over here. He was directing the white fellow to go, you know, where he could have sleeping car provision. He said, but you go over here. I said, no, we're supposed to go with him. He said, no, I said, you go over here.
Wow.
So we didn't have the sleeping car provisions all the way down to the camp. And, you know, little by little, you were led into all of the disasters of racism. And of course, I think that had a greater effect, or as greater effect, as being in the Marine Corps. You know, the war itself, fighting those wars was bitter. But we learned to live with them, and we learned to know that we were deemed to make a better America. And I think that was the fulfillment of everything. To know that you were doing something to better your community, yourself, you know, your country, your neighborhood. And then when they, after they went through those drills and you got good with them, and boy, those DIs, they could sing them. And you're more or less dancing, you know, when you were drilling, you know, no matter how hard it was, no matter how much you sweat, no matter how your feet fell. of how your hands felt slamming against the rifle. There was a joy in it.
Nice, nice. Wow. So with those memories, what would you say was some of the more challenging memories?
Challenging?
Yes.
God, being in the Marine Corps, number one. Learning the principles of the Marine Corps.
Okay.
But I think you mean the most hurtful thing or something of that nature?
The most hurtful. Share that.
Yeah. Well, we heard that the Commandant of the Marine Corps didn't want us. But I think most of all, when Brigadier General, what was his name? Oh, God. Anyway, he came down to the camp, and there was about 700 of us. And he was standing in a boxing ring. I can see him now. And he stood up, and we had lost a lot of men at Guadalcanal. And he was coming back from Guadalcanal, and we were looking for something good from him anyway. And he stood there and he said, they made many changes in the Marine Corps since I was stateside. They added the women, they added the dogs, and when I saw you people wearing our globe and anchor, I knew there was a war on. But that went so deep with the entire group. Some of the fellows was disheartened. They really wanted to go over the hill. But some of the very level-headed people, they called us out and said, listen, we're here to do good. This is an experiment unit. And at that particular time, we were a composite unit. We had tanks, radar, the whole bit. 155, but later on we were broken down. Those things left, became strictly anti-aircraft. But anyway, I think we were so disheartened by that. Some of the guys wanted to go home and what have you, and some of the level-headed guys began to talk. You know how you're sitting around grumbling and going on. And you say, we're here to do good. And if any of us go over the hill, we get a bad name. And from that, the community is going to suffer. The black community is going to suffer. You just have to stay here, and what you want to do, beginning today, do double of whatever you're asked.
Wow. Yeah.
You're going to be better than anybody asked you to be. And that was the philosophy that we carried from then on.
Special thanks to Jimmy Michael Truitt and the National Montford Point Marine Association. This episode was recorded on location at the 4 Points by Sheridan, San Diego, California, on February 28, 2013.